Hello everyone. Today we are going to see out of sequence in Primavera, retain logic versus progress override. The out of sequence activity refers to the situations where a successor activity start before its predecessor completed, violates the planned sequence of the task. For example, you have linked activity A, B, C, D. So A is completed, B is not started, C is started. So this type of activity B call as a out of sequence because B is not started in your update in Primavera. So currently we have a two systems which we are following. One is retain logic, second is progress override. It is our scheduling options. So what is retain logic? So retain logic is a default setting in the Primavera. Whenever you schedule your program, it runs on retain logics. That means it keeps the original scheduled logic intact. That means if you have link 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so whenever you update, so it will follow same logic in your updated work program. If activity started early out of sequence, a remaining duration still follow the predecessor completions. Okay, suppose A, B, and C. So C activity is started, A is completed, C is 50% completed. Okay, so now what going to happen in Primavera? We also see in the Primavera the duration of B is suppose 5 days, and the remaining duration of particular activity is 2 days. So it will shift it 7 days for the completion for the activity C because it will take all the dates of activity B performing the same logics. So the remaining duration still follow the predecessor completion. So that 5 day then plus 2 days. So we are going to see this in Primavera also. Next, why it to remove out of sequence? Okay, so why we need to remove out of sequence? Because it force activity to obey the logical link even if progress has already been made, which we already discussed. Second, this maintain the intended critical path and prevent unrealistic overlaps. So basically, if you are not removing such thing, so it will not show a realistic pictures, the real completion date of the project. So this is one called retain logic. Next is your progress override. So progress override ignores the relationship when the activity started out of sequence. So basically you have a B and C. So whenever you are updating, so it will ignore the relationship of B. Now C and B are starting on same point. So that particular moment you can see you don't have that much of resource to start B and C simultaneously. That's why we have to remove the out of sequence at that particular moment. Allow task to progress if independently once started. Means C will be as an individual activity, B is acting as an individual. They are not following any logic. So sometimes you are unable to see in large program so many activities started on particular same time, but you don't have a resource to complete those activities. So it will show a negative variation in the next upcoming months. Why? It's remove out of sequence. It treats new progress at updated logic, disconnecting the dependency from its original predecessor. So we already discussed that it will not follow the logic which you have created during the creation of baseline, and this can change the critical path and result in different completion date. So it will show a different completion date. It may be right or wrong. It will change the critical path. So we will see the example in Primavera itself by quantifications, how the quantity change. Key impact of removing out of sequence by this method. First, retain logic maintain the schedule integrity but may cause a delay. Progress override gives flexibility but may alert the critical path. So sometime we have third option called actual dates. Allow actual date to dictate the sequence but can cause unaccepted result. So now we are going to see first retain logic and then progress override in Primavera. So I will open the Primavera here. So this is my one sample schedule. You can see it. I have mentioned here retain logic. So I will go to resource assignment and I will show. This is my numbers which I am going to be executed for the project like per week 2, 3, 7, 11, 12. Okay. So now I am going to update on same date, but I will left out with some activity which is dependent to the other. Then we will update it by seeing some remaining duration. So what will be the upcoming dates for those activity? Okay, so I will add one more column here, duration, all remaining duration. We will update till activity 5. So I have just marking this activity is completed 100%. So somehow whenever you are updating your program in month of March, you find certain utilities or hindrance at your location 6 and 7. You cannot proceed. Okay. So now what happened? There may be some breakdown or something. We are updating our program till 25th of March. So I started this activity on 25th and I am showing here the duration starting this activity, and I am showing the remaining duration here 6. So I will tell the status 50%. It will be a 75% completed and this is 50%. 25th of March and I will schedule. So you can see I have scheduled my program. Now what actually retain logic pushing the activity and date and everything. Okay, so we will go to resource assignment. Now you can see I will put here a column spreadsheet. I will select interval units, remaining units. So my group number 8 is pending and 6 and 7 is pending. So if you see my data date is 25th. Okay. And I have some remaining durations. Okay. So it will coming in next month of April. Okay. It should come prior to that, but it is showing it will come later. If I show you here. Okay. So file group number 8 and 9, if you see my remaining duration is 4 and 6. So that should be completed on 29th and 31st of March. Okay. Now, why this is pushing beyond? Because I am using a retain logic. So my P6 and P7 will be started on 25th of March and P7 is completed in next upcoming time, 2nd of April. So this activity, so they are adding 4 plus uh, 2 plus 4 6 and 2 plus 6 8. So this completion date is pushing due to the retain logic concept. Okay. Now how you can see your activities out of sequence? You can go to schedule, check your log, view log. So I will check my log. Okay. So this is my schedule log. You can see my activity out of sequence file 18. Okay, so it is showing my activities out of sequence P8. Why it is out of sequence? Because P8 is started. Okay, if you check the relationship, it is saying that after the completion of P7, P8 should be started. So that's why it is showing out of sequence. So how we can remove those out of sequence and we will correct the dates. So I'm not going to change anything, just remove the relationship here P8. So we have completed P5. So I will link P5 to P8 and the relationship of P6 we are going to change by P9 and the P10 it's going to change. It is started from P7. Okay. Now again if I schedule, okay, you can see I have changed the logic, I have changed the dependency. Now you can see the 8 and 9 are going to finish on 25th of March. Sorry, 29th of March and 31st of March. I will schedule. So you can see 28 and 30. And this is showing 8 April and 8 April because it changed the logic. I have changed the out of sequence activity. If you come to schedule option, if you do a schedule and you will check the view log. Okay, now you can find that that particular activity out of sequence has been removed. So that is a way you can remove your out of sequence activity. And I have shown that P8 is pushed by P6 and P7 because it is not completed and the primavera is following your retain logic. So from where you can change if you want to use progress override. Okay, so you have another option. If you go to options, here you have option when the scheduling progress activity use. So currently default is retain logic. So next we are going to see the example of progress override. Again, just I am going to update the activity till P5 and we will do with progress override, and I will show the impact of that. Okay, so we will update P5 completed. Now, same method we have started P8 and P9 where we have a remaining duration 4 and the status is and here 50%. From here, I will change my scheduling option. Progress override, close, yes. Now I will schedule. Okay, I have to schedule on 25th of March. 25th of March schedule. So you can see activity 8, 9, 6, and 7 all are falling in same time. Means if I go to resource assignment, so you can see 9, 6, and 7 all are falling in the same period. Okay, so maybe that may a reason where I cannot do a sufficient numbers in 1 week or so because all the quantities you can see it all following on the same path. If I put here budgeted unit, it is completing 28 March, 30 March, and it is starting also on 25th March and 26th March. So when I planned it, okay, if I see day by day, okay, if I go to spreadsheet, sorry, time cycle, I will go week and day, then I will apply. So we can come to a March. Here you can see you have a more numbers here, and here after that, once your dates are changing beyond that, it will 1 1 1. So every day I am doing a 1. But during the progress override section, my daily quantity is coming up to two numbers. So my average number, my resource for whatever I mobilize, I can do only one file per day. But due to progress override, it is coming to, if again you go to schedule and if you see the view log, here will be again said out of sequence P8. So for that, if you want to change any sequence or something, again you have to come, okay, P8, you have to remove this, assign P5, P6 should be started after completion of P9, and P10 should be started after the completion of P9. Oh, sorry, P7. So this is your way to remove the out of sequence in progress override schedule. So you can see 28, 10, it is coming 8, 11. So when I go to resource assignment again, okay. So now I have resolved my problem 2 per day to 1 per day. So that's why out of sequence removal is very important. So I have shown you two methods. One is retain logic, which push the activity even it started, and over progress override shows two activity on same time. So this is the basic difference. So there is some recommendation when we use what type of logic. Use retain logic, it default one. You want to preserve the original schedule logic, remain proper dependency relationship. It's mainly used for the extension of time, and that particular delays happens due to the client. So you want to claim extension of time more, then you use that retain logic. Your project required strict adherence to the sequence to ensure the accurate forecasting, then you can use retain logic. Delay caused by out of sequence progress should be still represent the predecessor constraint. If there is any predecessor constraint, you can show it. It is best for the highly structured project, construction, engineering, infrastructure where the logic driven schedule is crucial. Mainly the retain logic we use for the extension of time because it will push the upcoming activity according to that. So it is on engineer discrete what he want to remove those out of sequence activity or not. Second, use of progress override. If you need to prioritize the actual progress over the plan logic, allowed activity to continue without the constraint. So means constraint means your predecessor activity linkages. Your project have frequently changed in the execution where work happens out of sequence and adjust the dependency manually is impractical. So then you can choose progress override, and you want the schedule to reflect actual flow of work rather than the planned dependency. Means whatever happening on site you want to show those things, so then you can opt for progress override. Now best for agile or dynamic project, maintenance, IT, fast track project where the progress dictate the schedule more than logical constraint. Third is actual dates. You want actual progress to dictate the schedule without relying on the constraint on or override. Okay, your project rely heavily on real time and data entry, which continuously updates. Best for the project where the historical tracking is more important than forecasting, means planned versus as built as planned. In this step, you can use the actual dates and all. Final recommendation from my side: if maintain the original dependency, it is critical. Use retain logic. Basically, every contractor use retain logic for the extension of time. If actual progress should dictate the schedule, use progress override. So sometime we use progress override if our with the relationship of return logic, the time duration is coming more, so we will use a progress override to show the lesser delay if it is a contractor delay. And the focus is on the past performance, not future logic, then you can use a actual date. So this is the way you can solve the out of sequence activity, what retain logic and progress override. So this is the simple concept. If you have any doubts, so you can comment down in link, or you can join my Telegram channel. I will pin the link of Telegram channel in video. Thank you.